All right, ladies, welcome to Mindful Attraction 2.0. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about success habit number three. I think that's number three, right? Yeah, I believe so. Sorry, if it's not number three, sorry about that. And that's finding role models. So this is the thing, is that a lot of the times we set goals depending on what we believe we could do. And for me, the role models that I had, which was the people who I admired, the people who I looked up to, weren't really that successful. They were just successful in whatever they prided themselves into. So what tended to happen is that I became good at the things that they were good at, which was nothing. For the most part, we have role models, but we don't have role models for our personal identification to succeed in life, but rather we have role models for entertainment. So what I began doing is I said to myself, you know what, man? I don't have a good role model. I don't admire somebody who with whom I admire a character trait of theirs that provides success in their lives. So what I began doing is I began reading biographies, and that's what I began doing, reading biographies. And this is why it's so important to read biographies. Because when you read biographies, it enables you to see, it enables you to know and see that success was no accident. For example, I began reading Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's his biography, one of the best biographies I've ever read. And right from the first chapter, I was like, whoa, this is different. Why was it different? Not because of his biography, but because I kept asking myself, what would I have done if I was in his position? Each page that I read, I said to myself, would I have done that? Would I have done that? Why was I doing that? Because of this. Because I was trying to see that. I was trying to see if his success was either by luck or by willpower. And from the looks of it, from reading the biography, it made me see that, holy shit, it was all something that he did. He did this, and he did something. And when I was asking myself, would I have done that? There were times when I said I would have not have done that. And that's when I realized, wow, like, as I read biographies, it made me realize that success is no chance. Success is no coincidence. Success is something that you will through having the intention of succeeding. So what I began doing is I began reading more biographies of successful people, especially people who were enormously successful. Why? Because people who were enormously successful, it helped me see that they're just humans like you and me. So I began reading Richard Branson's biography. I began reading. I began learning about Joe Rogan's life and how he got to where he got. And the more I read biographies, the more it removed the veil behind success. The less I saw success as something that was only preserved for the few, and it humanized the people who I admired. Because a lot of times, you admire people, but you tend to have a veil between you and them. You limit yourself. You say they're special, so I don't have to. They're special, so I don't have to dream as big as they dream because they're special. You're Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Or they're George Bush, or he's Muhammad Ali. Of course he was successful, but little did you know that they were created. The person who you see was intentionally created in their heads. And so when you read the biographies, it takes away all of those excuses. It takes away all of the excuses that you have that comes out of your own insecurities. And it helps you realize that the person who's limiting me is not the system, but myself, my own belief system. So that's the beauty of reading biographies. It helps you have people who you admire, because you say, if he could do it, I could do it. When I read biographies, I say, wow, look, like, it's all. If he would have done this, he wouldn't have had the success. So everyone who's successful, everyone who's, oh damn, anyone who's ever been a success has had those barriers of mental barriers of there's me and then there's that successful people who I admire. But when you read those biographies, it removes those barriers. It helps you see that you could do as much as they did. Heck, you could do even more. And that's when you begin to dream bigger. That's when you begin to set goals that you would never have thought you could set, and achieve goals that you would have not thought you never had thought you could achieve. But it's important to not limit yourself because you admire the person, not just admiring them, but seeing them as people, as normal human beings. Because then it'll help you say, if he could do it, I could do it. Suddenly you begin to you'll read a biography of Kanye West, and when you read it, you're not gonna feel bad. You're not gonna feel limited. because you're gonna realize he's just a human being. If he could do it, I could do it. You can read a professional athlete's biography. You say to yourself, if he could do it, I could do it. And that gives you the motivation, because a lot of times our motivation to succeed is hindered because of our fear of not succeeding. But when you see that the people who succeeded are normal people, it removes those barriers and helps you set and achieve goals that you would have never thought was possible. Anyways, this is Alex from mindforattraction.org. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Bye-bye.